Bay Area. Y'all ready for this? It's about to go down. It's the Patchbay. 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 It's the Patchbay.
What up, Bay Area? It's your boy, Mighty Joe. Welcome to another episode of the Patchbay. Today's guest has been a part of some great moments in the Bay Area's hip-hop history. He's a producer, songwriter, and DJ. I want to welcome to the show DJ Ken Hen AKA Aety8muzik. What up, Ken?
What's good, man? What's going on with you, man?
Man, happy Friday to you, my brother.
Indeed, indeed. You know how we do it. Sitting up here chilling with you, vibing, and talking about this good stuff, man, this hip-hop culture, you know?
Yeah, man, I'm like super excited. I've been looking forward to this conversation all week. Let's go ahead and jump right into it, man.
Indeed.
Originally, you were born in Texas.
That's correct.
First, what part of Texas? And is that where your love for hip-hop started?
I was born in Galveston, Texas.
Okay.
That's the Gulf Coast, most southern point of the South is right in the Gulf, south of Houston. So, yeah, man. And, you know, that has its own story, too. Parents, you know, got divorced at an early age, moved to Cali. And, you know, I was able to do the back and forth thing on the summers.
You moved with pops or moms?
Moms,
Gotcha.
No doubt. And I was able to do the back and forth thing for the summers when I got of age. She would send me back to the South, you know, and that's where I learned a lot about the culture there as opposed to mixing it with the culture on the West Coast. So I was blessed with that, man, for real.
Right on. So what was the sound back then in Texas and Oakland? And did you find yourself blending those two styles together? Even if you wasn't trying, you know?
That's a great question. A lot of that, yes. All the answers are yes. So for the West Coast, it was early hip hop. It was up-tempo stuff. You had like Uncle Jam's Army, Egyptian Lover, LA Dream Team. You know, this was before, you know, NWA came out. You know what I'm saying? So this was early.
Right on. And
down south, you know, you always had, you know, the slower rap cats. The tempos were slower because, you know, that southern drawl is just that southern way. So a lot of that I infused when I actually got to the production level. You know what I'm saying? I started infusing the Cali sound with, you know, the 80 beats per minute, 82 beat per minute hip hop that I was hearing, you know, from there.
So tell me about Bushrod. Is that the neighborhood you grew up in Oakland?
Okay, so yeah, I'm glad you asked me that question.
Right on.
Bushrod Park is a recreation center. It's still there to this day.
Okay.
The actual vicinity, you know, was say a 5-block radius of kids and you know, at that time, D-boys and ballers, you know what I'm saying, that they just, you know, put Bushrod on the map.
Got you.
From that, it spawned a culture of how we dressed, how we carried ourselves, how we looked. A lot of athletes come from that area. I mean, basically, you know, every major athlete that's made it, you know, to the leagues, had to come through Bushrod Park.
Okay, that's what's up. So I want to jump into some music, and I know that I wouldn't say you got your start, but I would say the first person that you really connected with was Taj Mahal Tillman, also known as Turntable T. He was definitely, from what I've learned about him, you know, a pioneer of Oakland, and he played a really important role in your life to where he put you under his wing. But how did that relationship come about, and what does it mean to you today?
Oh man, true story, man. So Taj was like the man before I even, you know what I'm saying, really gravitated towards all of that. You know what I'm saying? I got my first set of turntables in the 6th grade.
And what,
you know
what
I'm
tables
saying?
was that?
Techniques 1200,
Okay,
of course,
okay.
with the new Mark Mister.
Hey,
Yeah, my mom.
I'm not even gonna lie, bro.
broke
My
us up.
first pair was Geminis, but I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
It's all good. Yeah, man. So I got that for the graduation, and I proceeded to start scratching.
Right on.
Now Taj was already doing street tapes. His MC was named Mac Mill.
Okay.
And this dude was incredible. I mean, he was like old school MC, like Spider D, Count Cool Out. Like, he had stories, man. This dude was incredible. And they had these tapes circulating on the street. Right. And it was Turntable T and the Monarch Mac Mill. And the tapes was hot. I got my hand on one of the tapes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this dude is tight. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know him then.
Right.
Come to find out, this dude lived a block around the corner from me.
Oh, okay.
So I would see him in the park. We was playing sports, and he was just a dude he was super and highly intelligent. You know what I'm saying? He was all on the engineering stuff early. I don't know how, he just was the man. He had an 808, 909, turntables, all that.
Damn.
So dude would just be by himself.
Right.
Then when, we met at the corner store, which is on 60th and Dover, that's my street.
All right.
We met there, and I'm like, that's Todd's Turntable T. Mm-hmm. Hooked up, he invited me over. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So boom, we get there, we chopping it up. It's dudes in the house DJing, going back and forth on the turntables. It's like a DJ school.
You were in
up
heaven.
in there. Dude, yeah, but I was shook though. Because
you were intimidated.
I
got you.
Yeah, because I wasn't there yet.
Sure.
But yeah, dude, man, was like the man. He took me under his wing. That wasn't my introduction to hip hop and DJing. The introduction was my brother taking me. I got an older brother. He took me to the Fresh Fest.
Okay.
And at that concert at the Oakland Coliseum, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five was there. I'm a young dude.
Whoa.
So I see this dude, Grandmaster Flash comes out. He's just standing there. Music come on, The Adventures of Flash and all that. His turntables just rolls up. You know what I'm saying? Out the ground. You know what I'm saying? The prop. It was just, I'm like, what the hell is this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that moment, that concert, that led me to, I want to do that.
Right, and you just wanted to eventually be that person up on that damn stage.
Absolutely.
I love to hear those stories, man. So yo, I wanna jump into some of the projects that you were a part of. Mm-hmm. The first album that you were a part of was called On the Rise by the APG crew.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
In 1989, which was definitely a classic album.
Yep.
What was exciting to be a part of that album?
Well, I actually got in that on a fluke. Being ready and not having to get ready. Turntable T, had an MC named Kev Rock. You know what I'm saying? And Taj was involved with all kind of stuff going on in the city. He was hooked up with APG. He came by the crib and was like, I'm about to go to the studio. You want to roll with me? I'm like, of course. This was an all the time thing. He would come get me. So I go to the studio, and here go this MC there, Kev Rock, 6'4", big dude. You know what I'm saying? Bars, right? Bars. So his DJ didn't show up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
yeah. So
look at that. It was ordained.
Yeah. So, we in there wasting time. We waiting on this DJ. And, the turntables, I'm about to warm it up. So I warm it up on the tables, right? Kev, like, who is that? Like, and Todd, we talking and all that. And he saw what I was doing. He was like, I need him. So he was going to have two DJs, but he saw what I could do, and it just switched to me. Unfortunately for the dude,
did you have beef with that cat after that?
Nah, it's funny because I didn't even know that was his DJ. I went to school with the dude.
Got you.
I didn't didn't know this till after the fact. You know what I'm saying? And from there, boom, we started, you know, recording. That whole process was incredible because we was all kids. We was under the owner of Metro Records, which was Alan Blackwell, rest in peace. That was his vision. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, we gonna get this compilation album going. So Taj was already hands in the game, had the equipment. We started making these tracks. DJ J Cut, another good friend of mine, was down. He was already down with APG. He was doing tracks for the rest of the groups, and it was school, man. It was school. It was hip hop school. We was all going to a major recording studio, Bruce Tamblyn Sound, out in San Jose. I think he's still going too, and just to be able to do that, it just taught us a lot, man. It taught us, you know, how to respect the culture, be on time, get your work in, because it wasn't our dollar. You know what I'm saying? So, and that has molded me into the person I am today, because I still carry those same, you know what I'm saying, principles.
I don't know if you knew, but there were 5 different songs that were sampled from that one record called Action Speaks. You had Action Speaks Louder Than Words sample, right? Mm-hmm. Then you actually had a sample by Malcolm X. Mm-hmm. Then there was one by the Headhunters and the Pointer Sisters, and Eric B. and Rakim and Public Enemy, all sampled on that one record. Bro.
Yeah, and you know, all that credit, man. Like, I got to give credit to Taj on that, because he, you know, was crate digging back then. You know, This dude has a massive library of classics. And he was a James Brown head too, though. You know, no doubt. But the dude knew his music, man. And
what was your favorite out of the? Did you have a particular favorite, I should say, out of the 3 that you were on?
I would say Seek and Destroy, because Seek and Destroy was more us than Action Speaks. And what I mean by that is Action Speaks was a great record. Kev was fluent enough to know, you know, that sort of stuff. But I was still a little young. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't with the militant dude. You know what I'm saying? Kev was a little more well-rounded in that. He had lived a little more. So, but Seek and Destroy was just that hip-hop raw, like doom, 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 doom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Action Pack Gangsters, which is an incredible record. And Seek and Destroy were the main 2 records off that album. I mean, I'm talking radio play, I'm talking the whole 9. Like, it took off. Yeah.
Did you love, you know, DJing more than you did on the rhyming side?
Well, I mean, you know, it has its time periods. I was DJing, you know, I always, you know, wrote stuff down, jotted stuff down, because that's just what I was taught to do, and that's what I saw. Good friend of mine, Akil Muhammad, who's a dope MC, Mr. Snake, good friend of mine to this day. We used to write. He was a rap, like he was the rhymer. You know what I'm saying? So we would have sessions in the house where I would just write with him. And this was after, you know, it took his time, man. Like DJing, I was all in. I was doing house parties, you know, making blend tapes and all that. Then it escalated to APG show, you know, doing live shows, dope shows too. And then, you know, the rhyming, because at that time, that was around the time where the DJs started busting a verse on the records. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Grandmaster D from Houdini, when he busted on Funky Beat, you know, Taj was like, man, you should rhyme. And I'm like, all right. So we actually started doing that. And that was my first time in the booth. That's where, you know, I created the other, you know, persona of the Henster, because I always felt like Ken Hen can do anything and everybody gonna like it just because of the name. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to be respected as an MC. So if I, change that whole persona, and that's I compartmentalize a lot of different things. I keep a lot of things separate. So rhyming, I graduated into the Henston. And after that, it was all over with. I sharpened my skills for years, man, before I even really, really, really was like, yo, I can do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So was battling something that you enjoyed?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to my boy Jay Cut. I mean, because I feel like he was a better DJ than me. And shout out to Turntable T, Taj Tillman. I felt like he was a better mixer than me. So, I used to practice with both of those cats, but what I found out was I had a different ability to translate those things live. You know what I'm saying? And, I always try to tell people about how the stage is different, whether it's basketball, whether it's boxing, football, whatever, music. The stage, when the lights turn on, can you do that thing that you was doing in your bedroom?
Right.
You feel me? And I think that's where I excel, because the things, the trickery, that I saw, legendary DJs, Cash Money, DJ Aladdin, DJ Scratch, when he came along. I got a funny story about him too. And just those type of cats, just watching them and listening to them, how they came up with all these different tricks. Because, back then they had the battle for world supremacy. The DJ belt, and you win the belt, and you the man, you the king. So looking at all that and being able to, check out all that, it just made me grow.
That's cool though. What's that funny story you said you got on the DJ side of things?
All right, so I was DJing for another crew, K Cloud and the crew from Oakland. Shout out to K Cloud. He actually owns the It's All Good Bakery in Oakland on Martin Luther King. If y'all want some good sweets, go check him out. But I used to DJ for him, and this dude had hot records. And I mean, now I'm in high school now, mind you. You know what I'm saying? I'm they touring up and down the West Coast. Yeah. So we did a show in San Diego. Right. We opened up for King T, NWA, and EPMD. Now this is, EPMD was at the height. This is when they got DJ Scratch.
That's a crazy show right there.
Dude, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was like that all the time. We in the hotel. Now I'm a kid. I'm cocky. I'm in high school. You missing school because of a show. My mom's let me go. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I'm
higher in life.
I'm in the gift shop in the hotel, looking for something for mom. So here come this dude come in. I didn't know what DJ Scratch looked like. I just heard the battle though. I heard when he won on a cassette. So I'm in there. He had on some Reebok pumps or something that was hot then. And I'm like, this dude look, he fly, though. He had the gold chain on. So he's like, what's up? I'm like, oh man, just in here, whatever. He was like, you with that show tonight? I'm like, yeah, I'm down with K Cloud. I'm big headed, right? I'm K Cloud and the crew. I'm DJing. Oh, he was like, oh, you nice? You not? I'm like, yeah, I'm nice. So, boom, we had that conversation. He chuckles. I ain't paying no mind. We go to sound check, right? We do the sound check. Boom, I'm like, oh, there go the dude, that, was at the thing. I'm like, what's up? Whatever. We go on.
You didn't know who you were talking to.
I didn't know who I was talking to. We go on, we do our sound check. So me, I'm in awe. I'm like, EPMD, I'm waiting on their sound check.
Right.
EPMD come out, check 1, 2, mic. DJ come out. It's that dude.
Right.
DJ Scratch. He gets on the tables and he looking at me. Looking at me. Going to town. I'm like, What afterwards, man? I mean, it was a humbling experience, but afterwards, he told me, he was like, man, you nice though, but you don't never know who you talking to.
Hey,
and I
sometimes you gotta learn.
Yeah, and I took that with me, throughout. So, true. Shout out to DJ Scratch, man. I mean, that dude is incredible, one of my favorite DJs. But yeah, that's a true story, man. Real talk.
That's a great story. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love that. Right on, super dope. You were a part of a group called King Pieces.
Yeah.
Right? Is that where you actually started producing? Did you produce for King Pieces?
Yeah, I did the whole album.
God, and that's when that was like your first bit of producing,
or
you were already?
No, that was my first venture into actually putting it out. Like, I was always cooking up stuff in the lab, but I was like, okay, I'm ready now.
In your production, you're into like heavy guitars.
Yeah.
So do you think it was because you appreciate, like heavy metal sounding guitars blended into some hard hitting drums because of the era that you came up in?
I think it has a lot to do with my childhood. In my house, man, my mother listened to everything, and she was very open to the things that I wanted to hear. I mean, true story, man. I used to have Kiss albums.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was
like sticking your tongue out as long as you could.
Yeah, man, no doubt. I was like, I had the dolls. You know what I'm saying? I wish I still had them now. I was into it. As I got older, man, I found out it was more about the feeling of the music. You know what I'm saying? And you young, you don't know what. I'm listening to all kind of stuff, man. And I'm like, man, it's just something about that rock. Like, I mean, Quiet as Kept, man. I like Nickelback.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
How did the record Town Business that you produced for E Black that featured Mr. Fab come together, and how was the shooting of that video?
Okay. So E Black, again, we went to high school together. And the funny story about E, we was good friends in high school, and you get older and you go your separate ways. But we fell back into each other's presence, and I didn't realize he had been making music. He was down with a group called The Regime, which was Yuck Mouth, Don Strike, Tech Nine. He had been doing work with them, and I didn't know anything about it.
Right.
He didn't know about what I was doing. So we talked and was like, that's crazy. So I'm like, man, I got some tracks. He was like, yeah, I got some rhymes. We hooked up. Town Business was created. He wanted to do an anthem. He wanted to do something for the town. E Black is very town. He is the town for real. You know what I'm saying? So we did
shout out to E Black.
Yeah, shout out to E Black, no doubt. That dude, that's Town Business walking. You know what I'm saying? So we did the record, and I was like, man, this is fire. Like, we need to get some appearances on there. You know what I'm saying? So my initial choice was my boy Hassan from the Who Riders, which was down with Hobo Junction, West Coast Legends. I wanted to get him on it, but because of, time schedules and all that, and him being in LA, it didn't work out. So he let Fab hear it at the Dope Era store. Fab was like, I got to get on that. Boom, he dropped that. He dropped the ill verse on that too. Like, Fab, respect to Fab, because this dude is incredible in the sense of he's super lyrical. He will battle rap, no doubt. He was on that circuit. He makes great songs, but he does so much for the community. Right. You know what I'm saying? As a youngster.
I see that.
Yeah, to me, he's a youngster, but you know what I'm saying? He does so much for the town, man. And it's like, why not? The record came out dope. Video, my man Believe at Treetop Studios shot the video. And it was a segue to another song that I did for E Black called Check My Resume. And that featured another MC that I work with, J.R. Ewing. Again, North Oakland, Bushrod. And it was an incredible record, man. Town Business, for real.
So So what are some other interests that you have outside of music?
Oh, I'm a pinball dude, man. I love pinball. I'm a pinball junkie. There's a spot.
How? Like where?
Where did it come from? You know what it was in Berkeley, man. We used to, scrape up our little quarters. We used to walk to Berkeley over on University from North Oakland. We just walk, and there was a place up there by the campus called Silver Ball, I think, Silver Ball or something like that. And I used to go in there, and there was these dope pinball machines, man. And I just got hooked. They put one in the store on the corner, playing it there. And now I go to Alameda. They got a spot, the Pinball Museum, where you pay $20, man, and you could be in there all day playing all the pinball machines from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's a thing, man. Like, I'm serious about my pinball. I'm on my phone with it. I'm stuck. Like, that's just, I don't know, man. There's just something about it.
Okay. Man, before we wrap up, I want to be able to open up the mic to yourself and be able to, shout out whoever you want, promote anything you want, man. The mic is yours, my brother.
I want to say shout out to Turntable T, Taj Mahal, Taj Tillman, taking me under his wing, Kev Rock. They gave me the start, K Cloud and the crew, Mr. Snake, Akil Muhammad, DJ J Cut, DJ Yan, Bushrod as a whole, and shout out to Southside Houston, Texas, man. The screw movement was big too, just learning from a lot of cats and just soaking up hip hop culture, man. I mean, it's all about hip hop, and I can't even, my life I've seen a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't change it for the world, man. So shout out to those guys because, they shared a lot of the journeys with me and taught me a lot along the way. So that's what's up, man.
How do people find you, though? If they're interested in trying to get some production from you, maybe want to get a verse from you on their records, how can they find you?
I'm on Instagram at Aety8muzik. You can also go to my webpage, 88muzik.com. That's spelled...
How do you spell the 88, though?
Yeah, that's spelled Aety, the number 8, music, muzik.com. And you can also catch me on Instagram like that as well.
Well, that concludes another episode of the Patchbay. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode, and we look forward to seeing you next time. It's the Patchbay.